So we all know that sleep is a really important wearable metric for all of us to track. Contributes to our health, well-being, longevity, performance, pretty much everything. And so in this analysis, we looked purely at sleep metrics, mostly total sleep time and the individual sleep staging across Oura, Apple, Fitbit and Garmin devices. And we had over 2,000 Oura devices, over 1,000 Apple users, 600 Fitbit users and about 600 Garmin users too.
Sure. And the results here are interesting. So we noticed primarily that Garmin users seem to sleep more. And then in this case, it also showed that Oura slept the least. We don't yet have a good reason to describe this. Now, there are many variables here. It could be that people that are buying Garmin devices are sleeping more. It could also be that the way that Garmin is post-processing the PPG data and attributing what is sleep and what isn't is different. So they're including more non-sleep as sleep. We also noticed that, for example, Apple had a lot of variability. So within the Apple data, we're noticing, for example, one person slept for 51 hours at a time. We don't think this is possible. Probably what's going on here is Apple just mischaracterized 2 and a bit days as sleep when that really wasn't the case.
Yeah, and as Cameron says, we don't know if this is individual variability or device variability. What we do know is when you look at the kind of academic research on comparing wearables to the gold standard, polysonography, I think I said that right, Oura tends to come out really well. So benchmarking things off Oura seems sensible in this respect. Across the platforms, they measured REM sleep quite similarly, between 16 and 21%, and light sleep, as we'd expect, dominates at about 60 to 66%. We see a big difference in how devices measure deep sleep, though, which is a point of interest. Whereas, Apple sits around 10%, whereas Garmin, Fitbit and Oura are up near 18%. So it seems to make sense that Apple is systematically under describing deep sleep.
Yeah, and as part of the analysis for Apple, what we did is we thought, okay, if we're including these naps, so these half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour sleeps, then if people aren't able to actually reach deep sleep in that time period, maybe this is what's causing the underreporting of deep sleep. We removed those samples and we still noticed that the Apple underreporting persisted. And then we also just had a general look at the overall cleanness of the data set, and we noticed that Oura had quite high outlier rates, and then we again noticed what we said about Apple with the sleep stages being slightly strange.
Yeah, and obviously outlier detecting is really important. All of these wearables use some type of data cleaning in some shape or form. We don't know what, so we're kind of second guessing. But as when we tested outliers, we saw that Apple showed big outliers in its sleep staging. And then we removed all sleep episodes under 4 hours because it seems to make sense that they either could be naps, miscalculations, or extremely bad night's sleep. So when we moved those, we saw a big increase for Garmin's up to Oura improved up to 7.12 hours. All these devices do have auto nap detection, but how they work seems to be really variable.
Sure. And just to kind of summarize what we've spoken about today, it seems that deep sleep is the greatest point of discrepancy between devices, particularly in Apple's case, and we trust Garmin the most. We would also say that Fitbit's fairly balanced, and then Apple might require some more caution. Thank you.